What's up, dudes? Today I got a game that's probably spoiled in the title, if I know myself any good. But had this game the other day, first one in the Leopard, not against bots. I have another game in the Leopard where I've done over 11,000 damage against bots, and I'm gonna save that for a video discussing bots eventually. But that's a whole topic in itself. Today, finally got a 10,000 damage game in the Leopard itself, and at this point, I've lost count at how many 10,000 damage games I've had in what tanks. I could give you maybe a short list of the ones I remember, but if anybody knows of the website that has your highest damage games per tank is, let me know in the comments, because I remember using it before and completely forgot what it is now. And I know it's not Watt Stars. Watt Stars shows you your highest damage game of all of your tanks in one spot. But there was a website that I think my friend Hippo told me about, and it had every tank's highest damage game. So you could see, what tank had your highest damage and whatnot. And I remember at that point when I looked at it, it was so long ago that my highest damage game was only 8,800 in my WZ111-14, which was a tier 9. But since then, I've beaten that record multiple times, and I have an 11,000 damage game that's actually here on the channel in the 114 SP2 review. But at this point, collecting 10,000 damage games is kind of like my end game. Marks is always nice to get, but 10,000 damage games are pretty prestigious, I would like to think. And I have plenty here on the channel as well. Let's see, the Lehman Russ. I think I have a Chieftain 10k, a Badger, FV4 202, which is probably my favorite one because you don't have a premium round that has more pen than your standard. You have Hesh on that tank, so it's a lot harder to do with that vehicle. Now we have one on the Leopard. I think I said the Lehman Russ already, but the Lehman Russ. Is it bad that I forgot what my first 10,000 damage game tank was? No, I didn't. It's the Super Conch. Lots of British vehicles getting 10,000 damage games. Chieftain, Super Conch, Badger, and 4202. I gotta get some more British tanks out there. Like I said, 114 SP2 has 11,000 damage. And I'm sure... I think the 277 is another one. I know I have a Russian one, and I think it's the 277, but anyway, like I said, if anyone knows the website that I'm talking about, please leave it down in the comments below so I can go and I can check all these things and see exactly what's what. But this tank's 10,000 damage actually makes me super happy because, like I said, I've done 11,000 with this tank, but it was against bots. And so to finally get 10,000 damage against non-bots, pretty happy about that, pretty stoked. And this is a great vehicle. It's been buffed to 420 Alpha quite a while ago now, and it's just an overall monster of a tank. The greatest sniping medium there is. Again, with 420 Alpha damage, it's not the hardest hitting, but it is the most accurate and hardest hitting at the same time, because there's only the 440 Alpha kind of derpier larger caliber guns. This is a 105 that deals 420 Alpha damage. And it's just very good. We've done 2,000 damage already, and it's 12 to 14. And what we're doing is we're in this little... behind this mound that's going to give us cover from the sniper hill and from the dudes that we're shooting at right here, where the Type 5 is. And we're just poking up from different angles. We know we're going to get spotted when we fire because of how close we are. But we can peek without getting spotted first. So we can take a shot and then back off. And then just hide behind the mound. Luckily, Artie is not targeting us. And I decided to be a little bit risky here and potentially take a shot from the Type 5. But we put another one into him and he doesn't put one into us. And now we're going to start losing here pretty soon. It's 11 to 13, but just wait a second. Boom, 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 and boom. It's 8 to 13 now. The 2684 is pushing up in a bad spot for me because now he's within my dotted line. Potentially could spot me before I even fire, but he has pretty bad view range. The Leopard, though, is going to start running out, and that just means The pressure is on. I can't really do what I've been doing this entire game, and I've only done 3,000 damage. I wish I could have been doing more. The Type 5 was laning me there, but luckily he backs off, giving me the shot on the 2684 to take him out. The Leopard's just running around like a chicken with his head cut off. He gets hit. We're going to put one into him. We risked it for the Type 5, but the Type 5 pushed forward, so we're good on that. And he's dead to artillery, or he got hit by something, and now dead to the Jaegeru. 8 to 10, we've kind of brought it back, but it's not going to be enough. We're losing map control. We don't have anybody in the south, so at some point they're going to start pushing us, and artillery is shooting at me, which means I want to move. I know it was AP, and I could continue to risk this position, but also, look, I have no shots. So what we're going to do is we're going to relocate from this already compromised position and go into a position where we can actually shoot at what my teammates are fighting, and that is going to be over here up in this little sniper hill. There was a medium out in the airfield down the B line as well that we're going to have to pay attention to, but we can't shoot him at this distance for now. What we need to do is provide some relief to our teammates in this little valley by putting out some damage and hopefully stopping the tanks from just outright pushing. But this PTA is full health and he doesn't care, so he's gonna be the initial charge for the enemy team to realize that they can do this. I'm gonna try and punish him as best I can, but now a Chaug is coming up from the south, and he's gonna be an issue. We put one into him, we high roll, already kills him, and we actually bounced a 600 alpha round from that Japanese super heavy, which means he's using the 14 centimeter instead of the 15 centimeter, which is quite interesting. Again, we try and look for this medium tank, but we have to push too far forward, more than I'd like, to be able to see him. Plus, he's behind a hill or a rock, so we can't even shoot him. So we're going to just come back to shooting and trying to relieve some heat off of our teammates by putting out some damage and stopping the enemy tanks from just pushing, like I said. But they don't care. They really just don't care. My teammates didn't have enough HP, nor did they have enough numerical tanks for the team to really give a damn. We got rid of their Leopard. We high roll another Chaug for, I believe, the same alpha damage that we did on the other one. And now it's 3 to 7. I don't know what this medium to my south is doing, but we've done 7,000 damage, and we're hoping for a lot more. I'm thinking this Japanese super heavy is going to come around this corner, so this is where I'm waiting. And I'm also thinking that I will spot whatever comes down the B line, whether it be their remaining light tank or that medium tank we saw earlier. But unfortunately, I get outspotted, which is kind of scary. He does fire to reveal his position, though. We bounce the K91 with an auto lock, so we're going to start aiming. And he's making a mistake here, ignoring me to go for artillery. He has 320 alpha damage. It's going to take a lot of rounds for him to kill artillery. And we're going to instead just remove him from the map ourselves. Now, the light tank's coming up. He's luckily one shot. And he actually gets artilleried before I could hit him. And then this shot right here is very, very important. It bounced. That was kind of unfortunate. And while we bounced the Type 4 or Type 5, the Tortoise is shooting us with a non-upgraded gun, meaning he has very good DPM, very fast firing. We don't want to get perma-tracked again doing that. We have 800 HP. We've lost over 1,000 damage. Now we've lost over 1,500 damage. And it's a 1 versus 5. E6 is running up on us. We don't want to push in front of the Tortoise. We want him to stay in front of us. We do catch him. We get his cupola before he puts one into us. And then here I decide to try and maybe side scrape, because if he's got a lower caliber gun, maybe he won't fend me. Unfortunately, he does, which means I don't want to try that again. Plus, a Chaug is running up on my rear. Luckily, he's one shot. We put the round into him before he decides to just luckily shoot us. And now it's a 1 versus 3. I've done 9,600 or 9,700 damage. And again, I think this Type 5 is going to come up right there. I'm hoping, with all that time that we took after bouncing the Type 5, that he had just continued to push, and he will pop up first before the Tortoise pops up my rear. I'm trying my best to use the rocks to my right to be able to proxy spot before the Tortoise gets up to actually shoot me, so that I know I have to run before anything happens. But the Type 5's taking his sweet time, so I decide I need to make a play on the Tortoise while the Tortoise may potentially be sitting there. If the Tortoise isn't sitting there, then I'm going to run down the hill here and shoot him in the rear if he's climbing up. But he's not. As you can see, he's actually driving to my left. I don't know where he think he was going to go, but maybe he was going to go support the Type 5, which gives me kind of an idea that the Type 5 might be over to my left, which is why I look this way. But he's not. He actually was spending all that time to drive beneath the ridge, unproxy spotted, and shoot me in the rear. So unfortunate, but luckily we surpassed the 10,000 damage mark. We got our Top Gun, and yes, it may have been a loss, but it's okay. I'm just happy to have hit that milestone of 10,000 damage. This game could have been so much more had I just penned that shot on the Type 5's face and known where he was to finish him off, because he was two-shottable. So if I penned it, he would have been down to a one-shot, and if I just got the shot off first, then all I would have had to do is contend with a very healthy artillery for an over 11,000 damage game, Kalabanov's potential. We didn't get it, so who cares? But we did get the 10,000 damage game. That's what we care about. Again, earlier I was talking about that website. Please, 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 if you know what the website is and if it's still up, let me know. I want to recheck my 10,000 damage games and count how many I have, because I've lost count at this point, and to me that I'm kind of sad that I've lost count. Of course, this was an ace tanker. We're nowhere close to the 3 mark, and no bots. That's the biggest and most important thing. I've gotten this thing to 94 after the fact. I've had many more good games after it, but I just don't think I'm going to get that mark. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.